Today, I want to cover a topic that I believe a lot of people struggle with, and it holds them back from achieving their desired physique. And that is training when you have a busy schedule. This is a struggle for a lot of people. Um, I know because I was a personal trainer, and one of the biggest hurdles was actually just getting people into the gym. So, and this is reality for a lot of people. You know, a lot of people work 50 plus hours a week. They have a family. Um, they have hobbies, friends. They do stuff outside of work. And with everything together, they still have to sleep. And it's hard. It's hard to fit in training. So I understand that. But I wanted to kind of share some tips that I've found work for myself and for other people that I've helped in the past. So hopefully, maybe you're already doing some of these things, or if not, maybe you could take one or two of these away and start implementing it, and maybe it'll help you out. So to start off, I just kind of want to break down the day. I know this is it seems very obvious, but I at least want to show people how it is possible to fit training into your schedule. So, first, we'll just start with there's 24 hours in a day, right? So, you have 24 hours in the day. Let's say you work between 40 to 50 hours a week. Let's say you work 8 hours a day. Just that's pretty standard. Let's say you work, I don't know, 8 to 4, right? But you obviously wake up before 8 o'clock. So say you wake up at 7 o'clock, and if you work till 4, maybe you don't get home till 5. So 10 hours of your day is gone right there just by working. So I'll do like a minus 10, and this is work. And then let's say for sleeping, I'm just going to say you need 8 hours. Some people can get away with less, and that's fantastic. I'm someone who cannot, at least when I am actually training regularly. If I like stop training for whatever reason, I find that like I can actually have a normal functioning day off 7 hours. But if I want to like do the things to the level that I want to do them, I need 8 hours. So I'm just going to call that 8 hours. And that's sleep. And then let's say, obviously, you eat throughout the day. You probably eat breakfast and lunch at work, so that's already covered. And then dinner, let's say you spend 1 to 2 hours, right? Because you come home, you want to probably unwind for a minute. If you have kids, maybe spend time with them, talk to them, or your spouse, or whatever. You just like to sit down, relax for a little bit, right? So let's say for that, when you get home after work, eating dinner, that's maybe 1 to 2 hours. So we'll go minus 1 to 2, and this, I'll just label it for dinner. Okay, and then for your workout, this, I will say this should take 45 to 60 minutes. So workout 45 to 60 minutes. The reason 45 to 60 minutes and that this is actually doable, because it definitely is if you're someone who takes like an hour and a half to 2 hours, what you can start doing is supersetting. That will definitely save you time. And if you can't superset because you're in like a public gym, just stop resting as long. Just rest for 45 seconds to a minute. You're just probably resting too long. So, yeah. And then that also kind of takes into account drive time to the gym. Obviously, try to find a gym that's on your way back from work so you're not driving a ton out of the way to get there and then to get home. And then bonus points if you can have a home gym, obviously, because then you can just go home and work out, and that's super convenient. But obviously, not everyone can have that. So, so what are we at? We got 24 hours in the day. We got 10, 18. We're going to call it 2 hours. So we're at 20 hours, and we're going to call the workout for 60 minutes. So what I say, 10, 18, 20. We're at 21 hours with all this, right? Or sorry, 21, yes, 21 hours in your day, which leaves you 3 hours left over. 3 hours left over. Yeah, you can read that. So 3 hours left over. That's pretty much if I was wrong on any of these. If you work longer, great, there's spare time. Maybe you sleep longer than that, you got extra time, or you spend even more time doing stuff, right? Or you have hobbies and stuff you do, then great. The great thing about this, so this is how I just wanted to break this down to show you how it's actually, you really can fit it into your day. And the great thing is that you are not going to work out every single day. So it isn't even every single day. So that kind of brings me into the tips I kind of wanted to share that could kind of help you to actually train the amount you want to train to get to your goal, right? So just write tips over here. So tip number 1 is utilize your weekends. Do 2 of your workouts on the weekends. The reason is because you don't work on the weekends, right? Oops. So that gives you more time during that day to work out. If you do work on the weekends, then I feel for you because I've been there before. And whatever, you can work on the workout on the weekday, weekend. I guess it doesn't really matter if you do work the weekends, as in like you work 6-7 days a week. But for the majority of people, I don't think you work the weekends. So get 2 workouts in on the weekends, Saturday and Sunday, and then you got 2 workouts out of the way right there that you don't have to worry about. And let's say you might say, well, oh, I do a lot of stuff on the weekends. I'm busy. I like to plan stuff. Fair enough. I do as well. So what I started doing is I started doing them first thing in the morning before I did anything else. So there's no excuse that, oh, you're too tired later in the day or whatever. So obviously I have the luxury I can work out right in my own home. So I just got to wake up and then come down here and work out. But either way, I'd say wake up the normal time you'd get up for work. You know, make your coffee or eat something, whatever your normal ritual is, then head to the gym. That's kind of your time to wake up for the morning and then do your workout. So that's kind of another tip in itself, is to do workouts in the morning. And if you can even do this on the days you work, like before work, then that's great, you know. So that kind of leads me into saying that really you don't need more than 4 days per week to get enough time in. I say that because if you are working out more than 4 days and you're watching this video, I don't know why, because then you probably have enough time for training. You probably don't need to watch this Unless you're trying to find even more time for training, then that's great too. But you're probably not struggling to find time or energy to train. So back to what I was saying, if you can wake up in the morning, do it first thing in the morning, get it out of the way, who cares if you're a little tired at work? You'll wake up throughout the day and whatever. Um, so, okay. And then the third tip I have is to do meal prep, right? So you've probably heard this before. A lot of people say meal prep. But how do you actually do it? Because I'm not someone who actually enjoys cooking or making meals, but you can meal prep certain things that are easy. For example, uh, what I will do a couple nights throughout the week is make a big meal. Like make a meal that has basically a lot of leftovers. So something like chili, or something that like something you cook in a crock pot, or you just make a lot of servings of something, right? So you can literally have it for the next few days. If you're someone who doesn't mind eating the same thing for dinner 2 or 3 nights in a row, something like that. You can pre-make some sandwiches and just leave them in the fridge, and then you just grab them. And you don't have. It's not like you have to make 7 of them and have them all week. No, you can just do like 2 or 3 of them even, and then just every 3 days you're just making something. So you're not spending time every single day making food. The only way I do that is if I'm making my lunch for work the night before. I'll usually make my shake the night before. That's it. But really, I could even make a bulk shake. I can get a big blender and blend like 3 shakes worth, and then just leave that in the fridge and just pour it into my container every morning. I could do that. I don't, but that's actually not a bad idea. Um, Also, things like snacks, like right, if you buy prepackaged snacks, then that's great too. But I make some of my own snacks, so I'll pre-make that for like the whole week. I'll do that every weekend. So doing things like that is how I meal prep, at least, and what works for me. If you feel tired during the day, try sleeping better. And I have a few things I can talk about for that. So this is for someone who says, "Well, I just really lack the energy during the day," and or they don't sleep well. So sleep better, which obviously it's like duh. So a few things that I've done is, and everybody's heard this, but try to minimize electronics as much as you can. If you can't, like one thing, just stop watching TV before you go to bed. Just don't do it. And if you if you do it, then fine. Just know that that's not helping you. But if you're on your phone or laptop, try turning the blue light on. Or sorry, turn the blue light off. Turn the night light mode on, right? So that can at least help. But ideally, just try to not look at it at all. That'll help. That if you're struggling with sleeping, that will help. Another thing that I've done recently is wearing a sleeping mask. So it just covers my eyes. Everything is black, and I just fall asleep a lot quicker when it's like when it's black. Because when you have like light, a little bit of light coming in from outside, or like lights in your room and stuff. For me, it made me it oh man it took me longer to fall asleep with lights, and I fall asleep way quicker with a sleeping mask. So I'll just write um, uh, no electronics, if you can help it. Sleeping mask. Another thing could be like earplugs. If you're sensitive to noise for sleep, try earplugs. And even if you aren't sensitive to noise, just try it and see what happens. Same thing with the sleeping mask. You might be surprised. I've never thought of using one, but I found myself just laying in bed for like 30 minutes until I fell asleep. And I just thought I'll try it, and I definitely fall asleep. Like when you're just looking into just pitch black, I don't know. For me, I just fall asleep pretty quick. Um, Other things you could do before bed, like meditate. I know that sounds like, oh, you're probably not going to do it, but even if it's for like 10 or 15 minutes, just like sit in a quiet spot and just, you know, I don't know, empty your mind or watch your breathing or whatever. I don't meditate, so I don't know, but that's definitely something that can help you relax. Um, Meditate. Um, yeah, so for the sleeping, improving your sleep, really, it just try those things. Just try it. Just try it for even a week or 2 weeks. Doesn't even have to be all of them. Just even if you pick one of them, or more than one, that'd be great, and just see what happens. Um, Another thing, my final tip for today. So I guess tip number 5 would be to create a schedule for yourself. Create a schedule for the day, for your next day. If, especially if you're somebody who tends to just kind of do random things throughout the day, or like you just find yourself like sitting on your phone, just, scrolling social media or whatever, or scrolling Amazon or whatever you do on your phone. I don't know. But make a list. So let me just write, make a list slash schedule. And it doesn't have to be like, 9 a.m. you're doing this. You can do that, but what I really mean is make a task list of things that you have to get done, right? And that way, do it the night before. This can even be part of your, like maybe write a little list and then meditate for 10 minutes and then go to bed. But making a list and then having that list with you is like whenever you find yourself doing something non-productive, look at your list, because then that tells you you actually have stuff to do. So if you're getting stuff done, that will give you more time to train, and you're not really having as much of a busy schedule. So I guess the moral of what I'm saying is that I know people have busy schedules. I have a busy schedule myself, working 40 to 50 hours a week, um, having things outside of work I do. I I live it too, and I know it. And a lot of these things I have done before, and it works for me. And I know other people who have done these things, and it works for them. So, try, if you find that you're struggling in any of these areas, play around with certain things, and maybe there's other things too I didn't mention. And if it's, I don't know, if there's something that like you do that I didn't mention that really helps you, I don't know, leave it down in the comments below for it helps someone else. But yeah, just try, just don't get discouraged, and try to implement new things. Do what you can, but be honest with yourself and with the effort that you're actually putting into trying. So, yeah, that's all I had for today. So, I'll see you in the next one.